Hi, I'm with Konrad Thomasson today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about change management within digital transformation. So, Konrad, can you tell me a little bit more about your role at Intelligence?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Konrad Thomasson. I head up the consulting division within Intelligent Systems Limited. There's in essence two parts to the business. There's the consulting, digital change practice, and there's also the IT managed services operation. But they actually we benefit from having both of them because that gives us the opportunity to help organisations, especially in digital transformation, end to end, right from developing the strategy, executing it, through to realising the benefits, then looking after the systems afterwards. So it's that's what my predominant role is.
How did you get to be in your role? So, what's a bit of your background as to
My
how you got there?
background is that I've been a management consultant for 25 years. So I started off working with top tier consulting firms. I've been involved in large programs, very big transformation programs for a considerable amount of time now. A lot of them with a technology focus. Some of them have been focused around strategy, some of them around technology, some of them around people change, some around process change, some of them, all of them at the same time. So that's been my career for all my life really, since I left university, is doing large complex change programs.
What exactly is change management?
Well, change management is about the people side of things, and it's really important because these days digital transformation is quite fashionable these days. A lot of organisations come to us with strategic challenges because they want to need to are compelled to use modern technology to achieve some kind of strategic improvement, strategic outcome. But if you don't consider change management, unfortunately, a lot of these digital transformation programs haven't been that successful. Because just because you implement the technology doesn't mean that you've been successful at delivering the results. It's all about achieving the results. And the other problem, or the other reason why change management is really important, is that it's all about users adopting the new systems and using them at the end of the day. If they don't adopt them and don't use them, then they're not going to deliver the results. And if they don't deliver the results, that oftentimes costs lots more money because then you've got to invest in changing and improving and trying to make the systems work for them. And you don't get the value that you originally did out of the digital transformation in the first place. So that's why it's important, and that's what change management is within digital transformation.
Yeah, I mean, with digital transformation, I feel like it means different things to different people. So, how would you describe digital transformation on kind of the base level for people that they can understand?
Base level, it's about using modern technology to achieve some kind of strategic improvement, strategic outcome. That's basically what it is. It's a strategic change. But digital transformation is probably the new buzzword for business transformation. So digital transformation is a way of helping an organisation become more competitive, more profitable, and also more sustainable, and give happier customers, happier staff, and big improvements. Operational change, which is largely what our IT managed services operation cover, is more around managing and improving existing systems, new or existing systems, because a lot of organisations don't have the capacity maybe or the capability to help manage and improve their systems. So that's more operational change. Digital is more strategic. It's about transformation.
And how do you do successful change management?
How do you do successful change management? Well, you need to have a plan. And there's lots of different components of that plan. So one of the first things you need to consider with any kind of change program in digital transformation is, are you ready for the change? Have you got the capability? Have you got the capacity? Have you got the processes? Have you got the tools? So one part of your plan needs to be do what's called a readiness assessment. So that will help you understand whether you've got everything in place and you're ready and capable to be able to deliver this change, this digital transformation successfully. And not only should you do that at the beginning, you should do that throughout, frequently, because things change, people change. So constantly being on top of all of the things, all of the factors which are critical to be a successful change program. Readiness assessments is really, really important. Another thing that's important is doing what's called a change impact assessment, because if you're going to introduce technology, new kind of technology, that's going to have an impact on the organisation. It's going to have an impact on the skills. It's going to have an impact on people. It's going to have impact on processes. So it's important very early on in the digital transformation to understand what impact this technology is going to have on people, process, skills and culture, and be able to actually manage that change as you go further on into the programme. So there's lots of other things we can talk about around how to do it, but it's down to having a plan. Another key part of the plan is having a communication plan. And this is really important for a programme I'm doing at the University of Sussex at the moment, where we're replacing their entire network. And this is having a big impact on students, staff, and the whole campus. So communication is really, really important. So you need to have a plan for that. You need to have a plan of what you're going to do before the change, what you're going to do during, but also when you've done the change at the end of it, it's really important to celebrate the success and tell everyone, look, this change has now happened. This is what it's meant to the organisation and to you individually, and this is how we've benefited from it. So having a communication plan, as well as having an impact assessment, readiness assessment. There's lots of other things we can talk about.
Yeah. Is there a sort of a step-by-step process that you do need to go by, or is it sort of general kind of...
The actual general change management process is plan, do, review. So you've got to plan the change, deliver it, and then you've got to review it at the end.
Okay.
But there are components to that plan, as I was saying. So having this readiness assessment, that's something you do at the beginning, but also during.
Yeah.
Change impact assessment, beginning, during. Communication plan, there'll be different types of communication you need to do at the beginning, during and after to celebrate the success. Other parts of the plan, the change management plan to consider is also process improvements, because bringing in new technology means you're going to have an impact on the way people work. So you have to, with users and end users, document processes, get them involved in the documentation of those processes, and get them working with them to help implement those processes as well. So you get the benefits of the digital transformation. So bottom line, change management is all about realising the benefits of the programme. Technology, just putting the technology in alone, isn't going to deliver the outcomes. It's bringing the people in the organisation with you. Outcomes is another thing to focus on. When you're doing a big digital program, it's difficult to see the wood for the trees sometimes, because everybody's bogged down into the technology. So making everyone aware of the outcomes sort of gets everyone moving in the right direction and helps you see the wood for the trees. Another part of your change management plan to do maybe earlier in the program is quick wins. Because quick wins are things that tell the organisation that your project is winning, and it creates mobilisation, it creates buy-in, it gets the business buzzing around the change. It shows that something's really happening, because it's dangerous sometimes to take on too much change. If you take on too much change, then that's another reason potentially why the programme may not be as successful as you wanted it to be.
Yeah, definitely. How important is reviewing afterwards?
Well, reviewing it, the biggest thing that is missed out with digital transformations is making it stick at the end. Reviewing, capturing lessons learned, I believe you should be doing throughout the programme, not just right at the very end. You should be capturing throughout the programme. But at the end, the review is making change stick, because everyone's got to realise that digital's not going to go away, because one of the big drivers for digital is your customers and their expectations, and they're continually going to want higher and higher expectations from your business. So you need to make sure that the organisation that you've created to help deliver this change has still got the capabilities, still got the skills, still got the people and the processes to be able to continue managing this change going forward. So making sure people are trained and educated and equipped with the right capabilities to continue with the change is really important as well.
Definitely. What do you think the main benefits are then of change management?
The main benefits is it increases the success rate of your project, because as I said, I think at the beginning, unfortunately, there are statistics out there that say that digital transformations as high as 70%, maybe 80%, don't achieve the benefits and the results that they set out to. And that's mainly because they haven't got a change management plan to be able to do that. So it increases the success rate which is one thing. And the second thing is it delivers the results. So it saves the organisation money, it makes the organisation money, and basically it makes everyone happier. Those are the outcomes.
Do you have any successful stories of your change management that you've carried out?
Successful stories of any change management carried out? Well, I think one good story is the quick wins. I think quick wins, because like I said, the main success of the programme is if it delivers the results. And I've been in a lot of programmes that have delivered the results, but not always quite the results that we expected. But quick wins is a key thing, but also involving customers. Actually, no, I've got a better one than quick wins. Actually, this is a lesson learned more.
Yes.
Because another big part of your change management plan is involving customers or involving end users. Don't just involve them at the beginning, and don't involve them at the end as well, because then you could end up building something that they don't want and they don't use, they don't adopt, and then again you don't get the benefits of the change. But I was in a program once where it didn't quite go to plan because we had what's called a product owner. And this is where people got to be very careful with product owners, because they need to make sure the product owner is representative of all customers, not just a sample of the customers. So we were building a app to improve some business processes within a particular part of the organisation, and we were basing the requirements for that app on one product owner who worked on one site, not all of the different sites. The challenge then happened was when we completed the product, the new software app, it was appropriate for the site that he worked at, but not all the other customers. So a big lesson learned to make it a success is making sure that you involve the end users, involve customers, but make sure they're representative of the people who are going to be using it and adopting it at the very end.
Definitely. And I think it's so important that lessons are learned along the way.
The programme I'm doing at Sussex at the moment is a huge programme. It's about £41.6 million, and it's got multiple work streams on multiple levels, from programme level, project level, right down to operational delivery. Now, the programme has predominantly been driven in a waterfall fashion, so in steps. So you start off, you build your business case, you do your procurement, then you implement. But I've introduced some agile sort of principles and concepts. So we have a programme and at project level, we work in an iterative way. So I don't think you can plan further than 3 months ahead. So we set a goal every 3 months. We plan out how we're going to achieve that goal as a team. And when we reach the end of that 3 months, we review and look at how that iteration went, identify what we can improve as a team going forward, and do this in an iterative fashion. So collecting lessons learned, not right at the very end when you do your final closure report, but continuously throughout the programme, continuously improves the performance and increases the success rate of your programme.
So what are the key takeaways then for change management in terms of digital transformation?
Well, I think the key takeaways is that, unfortunately, this day and age, a large proportion of digital transformations don't always go to plan. And the reason why they don't go to plan is because they haven't considered change management. Just because you've finished the technology part and implemented the technology doesn't mean that your program is a success. A program is only a success when it saves money, makes your customers happier. So you have to consider change management within your program. Otherwise, you won't deliver the value and you won't deliver the benefits